The greatest threat to mediumship is those practitioners out there that don't know the difference between psychic and mediumship. The psychic is all about reading the emanations of those people sat in front of you, how life feels for them, what they're going through, their aspirations, their past, their present. Understanding that person is very empowering, but we have to understand the term of psychic. It derives from the Greek word psychos, which means mental faculty, and also soul. So if we look at the meaning of the soul, getting to know them, getting to understand how they think, how they feel, knowing what they're going through in life, because they're carrying the essence of their life through those emotional states of being, the mental state and physical state of being as well. Understanding these principles allows us to be able to recognize those qualities within another.
We're working with the person in front of us. When somebody comes for a psychic reading, they're looking for confirmation about their life. They're looking about clarity, gaining insight, having an awareness of what's happening in and around them. It can be that they're in a place of confusion. They can be moving towards making quite a large life-affecting decision. Or they can be having moments of self-doubt where they feel they no longer know themselves or are doubting who they are and the abilities that they have. When they go for a psychic reading, the psychic will work with the emanation of who they are. The emanation is what is relayed from the auric field.
So sometimes as we work psychically, it feels like we're talking about a self, but the distinction of the developed psychic is knowing the difference between what we recognize and what is relevant to that person to what is our own. And it's understanding those emanations that we carry through life. We carry those feelings, those understandings and experiences. Because the soul carries everything of you, from the moment you were born to the very moment you're watching this video right now. And everything that you've gone through, emotionally, mentally and physically, is stored within that soul.
The psychic can sense this, interpret it, and understand what they are receiving. It gives them a snapshot into who the sitter is, what their personality is, and what their history of similar situations has been. It gives them an ability to be able to share that helicopter view of who they are, giving them that insight and that confirmation that yes, they have endured problems and difficulties before and have succeeded. When somebody comes for a psychic reading, all the information will be about them, the things they've done, the things they're doing, and the aspirations that they have moving forward, their dreams. Often, when somebody's doing a psychic reading, they might interpret these aspirations and dreams because it's only a well-trained psychic that will be able to tell the difference between something that is an aspiration, a want, a dream, and something that the sitter has actually decided to do. When we are working psychically, we are able to sense their mindset, their emotions, their physical attributes, and their spiritual approach to life.
But we're picking up on the needs of the recipient, their work life maybe, home life, relationships, work and career. Everything that worries us or brings us stress, we're able to perceive through that understanding of emanation that we're reading. because within our own soul we're able to understand the feelings that we're receiving, and those feelings move us, and as we are moved within, we start to realize what they are within our own brains, and we're able to present it logically and rationally.
It's the fundamental foundation of what would then become mediumship. Everybody should learn first to work in the psychic. Mediumship is the next step after psychic, often the one that's driven towards and pushed towards, but actually it requires for the medium to have first developed the psychic ability. Because when we work with what we would call a discarnate soul, somebody who is no longer in the physical world, they have a soul. They have the experiences, they have the memories, the personality, the characteristics, exactly the same as when they were in the physical world. And therefore, when we work mediumistically, we are able to sense everything about them. When we work mediumistically, the evidence will all be about the person in spirit, the communicator, their lives, their experiences, their decisions, their memories. And what makes it evidential is that the person in front, your sitter, will understand everything that's been spoken about. There's no point giving evidence about somebody who lived many, many years ago that the sitter knows nothing about. It's not evidential. What we need to be aware of is that mediumship will always be about the communicator.
And a medium is all about building a power. That power of life, of the divine, a power that we can build, that we can listen at a deep depth to those emanations of a soul that has passed, a soul that is able to communicate their life experience, allowing us to understand factual evidence to prove life after death.
Mediumship offers that reassurance that the sitter is not alone, that their loved ones are with them. It doesn't take away grief. It doesn't diminish that grief journey. What it does is offer a reassurance and comfort that in some way the family member or the friend is still there.
Understanding that our loved ones can still talk to us is what it's really about. Relaying those memories of life, those understandings of life, and the evidence of that life they lived doesn't just prove that they're there, but it inspires us, it lifts us. Because if we do our jobs properly and build that power and present as that medium should do, we don't just walk them down memory lane, we evoke other memories. Those memories that are not on social media, that are not known, they are personal to that person in front of them. The names, their addresses, their nicknames, their pet names, all those things that are not known. But it's the medium through that power that is able to receive those impressions upon their mind, upon their soul, and able to present that evidence in a way that proves life after death.
In times of stress and strains, in times of grief and feeling loss, people will head for a mediumistic reading. The evidence itself will offer confirmation and plant a seed of a question that says, how is that possible? Could that have come from my family member or my friend? But actually, mediumship does something else. It plants the seed of curiosity. It plants the seed that will grow into the sitter's own spiritual journey.
Every piece of evidence given is unique to that recipient, because evidence can only be become evident if it's known. So we've got to blend properly within that power and understand what mediumship can do.
Mediumship should never be confused with psychic. Mediumship is all about the communicator, that proof that they exist in an emotional, mental, and spiritual place, just can no longer interact in the physical place. Mediumship to learn requires a good foundation in the psychic, and then moving to embrace the soul of those beautiful people in the spirit world. To be in that power of the spirit, to share that message of everlasting life,